G'day viewers and welcome back to Pop Will Fix It. If this is your first time here, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy and consider subscribing. This time we're going to be working on something just a little bit different, but it's still a vehicle. It's a mobility scooter. I only complained that it just stopped working, so today I'm going to try and fix that. Stick around. So the way these things work is under here, now I've already released this obviously, is a dual circuit potentiometer. Now if you don't know what a potentiometer is, think about a twist knob on any appliance, absolutely anything that increases power to the appliance itself. For instance, this thing here, that's the speed adjustment, so that's very slow speed, which means there's very little power going through it. And the more you turn it up, the more power flows through it, which enables the vehicle to go faster until you hit maximum. Obviously, then, well, that's the maximum you can get out of it. This one is a dual circuit, which means in the center, I'll use this as an example. In the center means it doesn't do anything. You turn it one way, it'll operate one function. You turn it the other way, it'll create an opposite function. In this case, you turn this one way, it'll make the back wheel spin forward. If you turn it the other way, it makes the wheels spin backwards. You see what I mean? Turn it one way, wheels go backwards. Turn it the other way, wheels go forward. I've already replaced this, by the way, just in case there was any confusion there. The original potentiometer was just dead. It didn't work at all. The problem with this one is I bought slightly the wrong one, which means it needs quite a lot of rotation to get it moving. Okay, that's zeroed there. Now this is, well, this is what they call a wigwag, and that goes on up in there. And if you just give me a minute, I'm going to go and grab a little Allen key to do up that little grub screw, and we'll get back to that. I've put the control piece on. Now, we're still switched on. Let's see what happens when we hit this. Nothing. And reverse. Nothing. Because there's not enough rotation on the potentiometer to activate anything. Now, I did mention to the owner we could just bend these around a bit to give it a bit more length, but that's going to be a bit of a stretch. I mean, that's a bit of a stretch for her. So bending it even further, that's going to be even worse. So the next that I had, hang on, I'll just take this off, there we go, it was to mount micro switches, sort of here and here, one for forward, one for reverse. Because if we do this, well, that's going. And that's going in reverse. So technically, if we have a micro switch, momentary micro switch, or momentary switches, yeah, and we put it across those two there, and we hit button, that works. That's cool. and it goes in reverse. So, if we take these wires off here, put other wires on, and then connect them to the momentary switches, that'll work, right? Let's try that, see what happens. Alright, I've got the 3 wires off the potentiometer. Now, let's see what happens. Now, you would think that this one is the feed, that one's forward or reverse, and that's the opposite one. Let's see what happens when we cross wires. Nothing. 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 Trial 3, see what happens. Nothing. Well, this is going to be fun. It would seem without the potentiometer, it just doesn't want to work. Wait a minute. Let's turn it on. Now let's see what happens. Yellow and white does nothing. Yellow and orange does nothing. Sorry, that was white and orange. Now we go yellow and orange, and nothing. Well, this just got interesting. Why does that not work? Theoretically, that should. It absolutely should work, but it's not. So it looks like my plan's not going to work, because if we can't get it to work here, like that, well, we can't get it to work anyway. I have an idea, but it means soldering these back on, so give me a minute. Alright, they're back on, it's working. Now, just for giggles, I'm going to try something. Okay, I now have 2 active wires on the potentiometer. What happens when I touch these together? It works. Okay, here's what we're going to do. Take that one off there. I'll put that one on there. Ow, hot. And we're going to put this double wire on the centre. Whoop, just crossed it. Let's bend that a little bit so we can get in there. Okay, now that goes forward. That goes back. Okay, it seems we need the potentiometer in the circuit to make it work. Hold on, I just need a bit of solder. I'll be back in a second. Okay, oh, we're still on. Alright. I've already wired up the other one, as you can see. Now, let's see what happens. Push that one. We go forward. Push that one. We go backwards. Woohoo! But for some reason, as soon as I disconnect all the wires from the potentiometer, it just doesn't want to work. But hey, that works. That's fine. Now all I've got to do is mount these little suckers. Now we'll be making more permanent brackets for the momentary switches from, well, these 4 strips of metal. We'll get into that later, but for now, just to, because they're going to take a bit, so just for now I've made up these little brackets, and they'll connect with just a hose clamp. I've split the hose clamp, that goes through there. Tighten that up there, and that'll sit on the handlebars, and the little momentary switch will sit into it. And the wires I can connect. Now the reason I say this is just a temporary solution is because, well, it's all exposed and everything, whereas once I finish with these, it'll be more enclosed. It'll kind of be the same, around the same shape, but there'll be, a back piece and then another piece wrapping around the whole thing. How I'm going to connect those 2 pieces together is undecided yet, but we'll figure that out. So for now, I just need to go and connect all this, just to get the vehicle going, so she can get mobile again. That way, it gives me time to work on the other fixture. Alright, here's our 2 brackets with the switches in them. Now we just need to pop them on here and wire them up. Get ourselves moving. Now that's not final placement. Eventually what I'll have is the worm drive will be around the back like that, so it's kind of out of the way. But because the tongue now gets in the way, I need to get in here to solder it, so I'm just going to leave them. You know what? Let's just leave it like that for now. Yeah, everything's out of the way, everything's accessible, and I'll just figure out final placement when I get it back to the owner. But now, I need to solder in some wires. I decided to change the wire because the ones I had were a bit too bulky, and I was worried they were going to draw too much on these little wires and burn them out. So we're going to switch down to a smaller gauge wire. And as far as I know, these switches, doesn't matter which way you solder them, because all they do is push a little plate down onto the 2 contacts and create complete the circuit. There we go. Alright. Whoop. One on there. Uh-oh. Wait. Take that back off there. Bit of heat shrink on there. And pop that back on there. Now, before I go any further, put that one on there, that one on there, I hope they're touching. No, they're not. Yep, they are. Oh, okay, we've got a wire off here. Okay, keep going. And by the push of a button, we have forward motion. Now I need to wire up the other side. I just went and straightened out this, well, wig-wag they call it, because as I was putting stuff back together, I accidentally bumped the potentiometer and it started to work. So don't want that happening, well, anytime really. So I've turned it round and I'm going to remount it back to front again so it can't accidentally be knocked out of place. There we go. Right. Goes back. Goes forward. We're all good. Now deliver it back to the owner and hopefully she'll be ecstatic. Alright, here we are. Let's unload it. Go and show the owner. Unstrap. And two straps. Yeah. Because that's tied under there. There we go. I'm going to release. No, okay. I'll just pull this off here. Alright. Oh. I'll have to fix that because that goes in there. Hold on a minute. That's done. Alright. Let's go. Okay. Turn the speed down a bit. There we go. Oh, back up a bit. There we go. Oh. Go see if she's home. Okay, Anya's going to meet me at the back, and she's actually asked I not film her. So you'll hear her, but you just won't see her. Here we go.
No way.
She works.
You're kidding.
No, I'm not. She
What
works.
was wrong?
Hey?
What was wrong with it?
For some reason, it wanted to be connected. The wires still wanted to be connected to the potentiometer. So all I did was solder them and the original wires and the new wires onto that. It works. So yeah, jump on, try it out.
I don't believe this.
I've turned the throttle down too, so it's about halfway.
It goes faster than it did before.
That's only half throttle.
It's
only half.
It used to be around at 7.
Yeah.
Get it to move.
Well,
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
You're mobile again.
Oh, thank you so much.
No problem. That's what I do.
Oh, this is great. It looks so good.
Yeah, and those switches are okay. They're in the right,
Yeah,
in a good
perfect.
position. Yeah.
Perfect.
Cool.
I bet you'll be getting business now. I'm going to
Okay.
I'm telling everybody. Oh, this is so... You don't know how lovely this is.
Oh, I think I do, because I've had a couple of times where I've had no transport, and it's so frustrating.
Oh, I've been spending $100 a week
on cabs and whatnot. Yeah.
and it's just... Oh, you don't know how much you miss it until it's gone.
Oh, of course. Yeah. Yeah.
So,
I was saying, don't know what you got till it's gone.
oh, that is so
But-
good.
Other thing I did, did you notice this?
Yeah, I did.
Well,
That's it.
that
Go
was
on,
my
run
problem.
yourself over.
that was my fault. That's no longer loose. There's a like a bicycle headset down in here.
Yeah.
So I've tightened that up for you too, so no more wobbly steering.
Oh, okay.
There's just a little bit of wobble there, which is the movement in this pin.
Yeah. No, that's fine.
So yeah, she's all good.
Look at that. Woohoo!
Well, there's another happy customer. Yay me. Thanks for watching. Make sure you hit that thumbs up, share the video, leave a comment, hit that subscribe button, and be sure to hit that notification bell, because I've got a couple of projects coming up I think you're going to enjoy. Until then, I'll see you on the next one.